Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Tuesday, the 1st of August. It is glorious Goodwood, day 1, Galway Festival, day 2. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, the big day has arrived. I say the big day, like Monday's like we're taking off, and then we've got 5 days in the air, Tuesday to Saturday, and then Sunday we're on the decline back down again to the airport. That's our trip in the air, and then when we land, we'll find out whether or not we're landing in Bahamas or possibly I don't. I was going to say somewhere, and then just someone somewhere is going to be really offended by anything I say. So yeah. Um, yeah, what am I going to do? Just say somewhere really. I'm not going to do it anyway. Yeah, yeah. We could be landing somewhere where really rubbish, where you wouldn't go on holiday. But I'm not going to name a town just through fear of offending at least one viewer from the lovely place they reside in. So we've got for Tuesday, and I'm sure I'm going to get my days and my numbers of festivals mixed up all week, but we'll see. It is Tuesday. These are selections are for Tuesday. £35 steak. So we've got steak and three quarters. And we're just going to take day by day. As I've advertised this week, most days are probably going to be near on double. Wasn't quite there for double today. So we go steak and three quarters for £35. It's 6 bets. There's nothing too clever or complicated with it. It's 5 lucky 15s, 1 Galway, 1 Goodwood, two Goodwood Galway combos, and 1 non-Goodwood Galway. And then to finish us off, we've got a big combination double bet for Galway. But in terms of meetings, definitely for Tuesday, preferring Galway. Slightly more races I'm getting involved in at Goodwood, but prefer Galway from a value perspective. Just there's a couple of races, particularly at Galway, the handicaps that I quite like. Goodwood, we're on the cusp on a few about whether we might lose some runners, and therefore some of the extra places might disappear out of that as well. And we have got the slight benefit of we've had a day of Galway to do some learnings. With Goodwood, we will learn on day 1. And so when I say that, what I mean is the first thing that I do before I start going through anything really tonight and looking at horses, or say tonight, Monday night, is look through all the results. So all the results from Monday, what can I learn about Galway from Monday? So the ground says it's heavy, soft. Is that what's bearing out the results? Are the horses that are making the frame, is that what their experience is? Broadly, we say yes, it was. The horses that are making the frame were horses that had some level of experience, broadly speaking, on soft or heavy going. Galway is very well known for being a front runner's track, so up with the pace. It's very hard to come from the back. That stood very true on Monday, so there was a couple of exceptions. The Very Man, which we were on in the combo doubles, was a rarity coming from the back, but generally speaking, up with the pace. Was there a draw, Bryce? It can flip flop. It's not strong. I think in certain bits of Galway and Goodwood, you can over certain distances you can kind of argue a case sometimes, but it does vary from meeting to meeting. So I'm not massively stacking myself on much of a draw bias, other than I think over the mile on Tuesday I am favouring high. So it will vary from literally possibly from day to day, but I'm favouring over the mile on Tuesday high draw. So I'm not saying that it's not an extreme situation. It's not like you can't win from another draw. But if I find my selections are on the higher side of the draw, I'm happier with that. That's basically where we're at. And then we'll do the same process with Goodwood after Tuesday's race, and we'll go through everything. Well, I say I will. So I'll be watching replays. So watch replays from last year, previous years. Watch replays of races, see how races unfold, see what you can learn. Generally speaking, Galway, Goodwood, horses that have run well before, they run well again, so we keep an eye on that kind of stuff. But clearly the staking plan is not completely 100% full of horses that have previously either run well there or have run there at all. Sometimes you're picking horses that haven't ever run at Galway or Goodwood, and sometimes you can forgive maybe one run for a particular reason. All right, that's a bit of preamble. How did it go? How did we go on Monday? We didn't get what we were looking for, so it was a rough day from profit and loss. From a strike rate percentage, I was happy with where we were. It just wasn't quite enough in the right combinations. So I did a little win Yankee, and we had second virtually pulled up, winner second, so nothing back for that, but it wasn't too far away. It wasn't completely disastrous. Hollis Brown was a disappointment. I think the ground just got a bit soft for that horse at Ayr. I think, I'm keen to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to ride it off yet. Golden Valor placed fourth. Jude was a non-runner, so there was a few pence back there for the non-runner and the place bit of it. And then we had bet 3. So as talked about, that came on a little bit, was too far back. It came 9th. That faded, and that was up with the pace. It was exactly where I'd want it to be, that horse, but unfortunately it was like the only horse in that race that ended up fading, so it wasn't very helpful because it was up with the pace. That's what I wanted. And then what did we have here? That placed. That was a disappointment, really. Jodie Townsend couldn't quite get round. No and place. It was a place double on that one, but not massive prices, so not a lot back there. And then the combination, first day was pretty good. So we had, what do we have? Third? I think it was third, 9th, but not placing, non-runner and 5th. So we had 2 out of 3 that ran placed, and then we could only manage the one leg. The Very Man was the only one. So it actually ended up being a tiny loss on that bet, which is a bit annoying after the first leg. So 25 on, 771 back. So we've started the week with a £17 loss, which is not what you wanted after last Saturday at all, and not what you want on July. So July finished, we've done July now, it finished minus 122. So that is the worst month for total loss. So that is 6 days equivalent of stake we lost in July. So in the grand scheme of it, it's like, it's not, it's 20 odd percent. So between 20 and 25%, I can't remember the specific number. I think it's 22%. So if you think losing 22% is not what you want to do, but it's not like completely horrendous. It's not like you've lost the whole thing over the course of a month. There were 2 other months since I've done the channel where we lost a higher percentage of stake, but July 2023 will go down as the 122 is the worst total stake we've lost. And to be honest, my own personal punting, I lost in July, and that was the heaviest physical total loss I've had. So my own punting is in line with the channel. Which is how I prefer it to be. However, I would much prefer both those figures to be in the positive. But yeah, July personally was a bit of a shitter, basically, in terms of actual profit and loss. So that wasn't any good. All right, so we're going to get on to Tuesday selections. The other thing I was going to mention, actually, I said yesterday's video I probably wasn't going to do the golf, and I'll let you know if I do the golf. I did end up having a little bit of time today to look at the golf, and I haven't got a staking plan for the golf. I've just got 2 golfers. So notice in dispatches, I've got, if you want to do a golf bet, the 2 golfers that I'm putting my own money down on this weekend, the Wyndham Championship in the US starts on Thursday. Ben Griffin 70-1, broadly speaking 70-1. 8 places is where I'd put it on. Paddy, Betfair, Hills, Ben Griffin 70-1. Did open a bit bigger than that, but 70 is his best price, I think, now. And the other one is Chesson Hadley 125-1. With Paddy 8 places is the Paddy or Betfair is the best current odds you can get. So my 2 golfers for this week are Ben Griffin and Chesson Hadley. No other side bets or anything like that. That is the extent of it. And the golf sort of season's sort of slightly winding down anyway. But yeah, that's the one tournament I had to look at, and those were the 2 that popped out for me. All right, so that's the golf. Tuesday's bets. All right, let's go. We've got split leg Goodwood Lucky 15. We're going to start with the 140. When the deal in's done. It's weird. It should be when the deal is done, but it's in's done. When the deal in's done. I don't know. That's just how it's written. A big watch out on that one. I'm not putting that in there because it's a good race for Sky Bet. Sky Best, hands down, worst bookie for that one. Most bookmakers are 4 places on the 140. Hills are 5 places on the 140. Hills are standout. So yesterday it was Paddy if you weren't with Sky. Today what I'd say to you is Hills and Paddy, both good for different races. So yeah, if you've not got Sky, Hills and Paddy. I've got one bet where 365 is slightly preferable. Some of that's to do with price, but yeah, Hills or Paddy for Tuesday. So yeah, that one I've got massive disadvantaged place terms there for the channel with 3 places. You can get 5 of Hills, but 4 will be what most people have got. Then the 435 Goodwood Cup, I've split legged that one. There's a couple of bookies paying 4 on it, including Paddy, which is why they're in this bet as well. So Paddy are 4 as well as Sky on that 435. There might be a couple of others. We've got Gia Valletta at 12s and Broome at 14s. Then we've got the 505 at Goodwood, Lady Mojito at 18s, and the 535 at Goodwood, Granary Queen at 20s. It's 2 times 10p each way, lucky 15. So one is when the deal is done, Gia Valletta, Lady Mojito and Granary Queen, and one is when the deal is done, Broome, Lady Mojito and Granary Queen. 2 different lucky 15s. And the key thing is, and I've mentioned this, explained this for a while, I do this deliberately so that there is more stake on the other 3 than there is on that one. So I wanted to include that race. I just couldn't quite split the horses, and I've split legged it. So if you put all of these in the bet slip, all 5, and you do any combinations, doubles, trebles, fourfold, that is not the equivalent of lucky 15s, because you will have the same amount going on to each of the 5 selections. Whereas what I'm stating in here is it's 2 separate lucky 15s, because I want more stake physically on those 3 horses and the same amount of stake on each race. Hopefully that makes sense. So it isn't shorthand for just shove them all in the bet slip and just do any combinations, doubles, trebles, fourfold. Alright, Sky Hills are the best bookies because you've got Hills have got 5 there, 3 there, 5 and 4. I think Sky are 3, 4, 6 and 4, and then Paddy 4, 4, 5 and 4. But you'll get best price guaranteed with Paddy. So £6 you bet. That is the Goodwood bet. Starts off with, and then we've got 2 Goodwood Galway combos. So another split one. This is the only other split one. I've got 2. 140 Goodwood Lihu. Same race as before, where we've only got 3 places on Sky, 4 most places, 5 on Hills. We've got the 250 Goodwood split-legged Lord Protector 8, Pride of America 8s. That's on the cusp, that race, of one non-runner, and we're down to 15 runners, and therefore people are going to change their place terms. But as it stands, most bookies 5, Sky 6. And then the 640 Galway Cordovan, which we took last time, 22 to 1, and 750 Galway Pina del Rio, which we took last time. So we've got a bit of previous here. So when I say that horse won for us a few Saturdays ago as well, and we've taken Lihu. So probably taken Lord Protector at some point. The horse has been around for a bit, so we've got previous with all this, but some of it's quite recent. In the last time they ran, 2 times 10p each way, lucky 15. So again, Lihu, Lord Protector, Cordovan, Pina del Rio, Lihu, Pride of America, Cordovan, Pina del Rio. Sky or Hills, joint best. Paddy, third best for this one. £6 is the bet. That is bet 2. Was there something I was going to say on that one? Can't remember. I think I've done it. All right, the next one. We've got the 250 Goodwood Haunted Dream at 10s, 505 Goodwood Peace of Mind at 14s, 640 Galway Mr. Wilson at 12s, 750 Galway Spanish Tenor at 11s, 20p each way, lucky 15, £6 is the bet. Sky are best, Hills are second best, Paddy is third best on bet 3. That is that. Yeah, I've got a couple of Buick horses at Goodwood. Interesting stat. The most profit per pound per bet, if you put on all follow William Buick forever and put £1 on every horse you ran in every race course, the most profit you'd have from any race course is Goodwood. True fact. Bet 4. It's not why I've necessarily followed him, but it's good to know a jockey rides a track well. The non-Goodwood Galway bet 4.20, and to be fair, I had a good look at Yarmouth. There was a few things I was a bit borderline. I left Yarmouth. I know I had a good bet the other day at Yarmouth, but that was different because it was Racing League, and it was a bit marginal. But Yarmouth, for those of you shopping about outside Galway Goodwood, Yarmouth's not a bad shout to have a look at. But I've gone 4.20 Beverley, Sherdeal at 12s, no extra place race. Then we've got the 5.30 Worcester, Glanny Gauls at 14s, some bookies are 4, 6 o'clock Worcester, Sinister Minister at 6s, and then the 8.45 Worcester, Jane's Little Voice, 18s. So it's an 18 pence each way, lucky 15. And then I've got a 40p each way double on Glanny Gauls and Jane's Little Voice. 6.20 is the bet. 365 are best for place terms and best price guaranteed and odds. I think 20s and 20s, I think, at the time of making this video. So 365 win, then Betfred second, and then either Sky, Unibet, Betway. So they're the same place terms. 365 you'll get bog and best prices. Betfred you'll get bog if you put it on at the right time. Sky, Unibet, Betway, you won't get bog on the multiples, but you'll get the same place terms. So that's bet 4, the non-Galway Goodwood bet. Then we've got the last two Galway. So this is my Galway Lucky 15, 5.10. Interesting race, that one. There's a lot of more unexposed horses that could be a lot better than that Calico at 16s, but Gordon Ellen, he did all right on the first day. I said he did all right. He put 3 horses out, and one was second, one was third, and one was about midfield. But yeah, it's the only horse in the race that's got proven form over the dodgy ground that you've got at Galway. The others all have question marks, and I just think that is a big pointer to say it's worth chancing on Calico. There's bits of form to say it could be competitive enough. Clearly doesn't look like it's going to be progressive like some of the others, but yeah, the ground's in its favour in terms of what it's done previously, so I think it's worth chancing that 5.10. So Calico 16s, 6.40 No More Porter at 14s, 7.50 Sir Jack Thomas at 11s, and 8.20 starting Monday at 15 to 2. 20p each way, lucky 15. Sky our best, Paddy our second best, Hills our third best. £6 is the bet for that one. And then finishing off, I've got a bit of a monster combo double, very much stacked on Ado McGuinness and in particular Dooley Thoroughbreds. This is how it's worked out. So this 6.40 Galway, McGuinness loves this race. He's got 7 horses riding in it. That is less than last year when he had 8 riding in it. And then he's got about 4 in the 750 as well. And I much prefer these 2 Galway handicaps to the last one. So I've only got 1 horse in 1 bet in that 820. So I'm stacking myself on these 2 Galway handicaps. They're my preferred ones of the day. So we've got here Mr. Wilson, 12s, the only non-McGuinness horse. And then all those 4 are all McGuinness and Dooley Thoroughbreds. And the only one I've missed off the bet in that race is Saltonstall, which I don't think is a bad bet either. But I had to draw a line somewhere. And yeah, he targets the race. He puts a lot of horses out. Trying to work out which one might be best, I don't know. But yeah, I've written them. They are written in that bet in my slight preferred order, but it's very, very close. So I've got Mr. Wilson, No More Porter and Cadawan, who are all in other bets, and I've added in Casanova and Current Option. And then the 750, we've got 2 McGuinness horses, Spanish Tenor and Sir Jack Thomas, and then we've got Pina del Rio. So that is 15 possible bets. 15 bets. So if you broke it down, it's technically 30. It's 15 wins and 15 places. So it's 15 each way bets. So 15 times 16p each way. So 15 times 32 pence equals £4.80. So you put them all in your bet slip, or if you're in a shop, you can write it out like that. Sky are best for this bet, then Paddy, then hills. That is what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, Sod's Law, Aidan McGuinness will win both those races, and it won't be the ones I've picked. But yeah, I haven't specifically looked for his horses, but the horses often, there's a few in there that have been running well that might continue to run well, but there's always a few that seem to just not run well and then pop up at Galway. He does very well in some of these handicaps at Galway, so that is where we're going, and we wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of those horses running again later in the week. That is bet 6. All right, I think that is it. I've gone for yesterday, monthly stats today, and mentioned the golf. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so I'll be back tomorrow night, hopefully a bit earlier. I'm not planning to do this late every night this week, otherwise I'll be absolutely done for. But yeah, it'll be evening session for Wednesday, then evening session for Tuesday evening. I'm back Tuesday evening. I'll be back then Wednesday evening, and then I'll let you know whether it'll be Thursday evening, possibly Friday morning, but I think it's probably going to be Thursday evening. And then I'll let you know again whether it might be possibly Friday evening or more likely be Saturday morning. But as far as the next video is Tuesday night, that's when it will be, and hopefully uploading it before midnight. That would be really, really good. All right. August. I'm Flat Cap Callum, and these are all the viewers. Do us a favour, racing gods. August is our month, isn't it? Remember we had this conversation? Please, can we sort us out this week? I'd be very, very grateful. Yours faithfully, Flat Cap Callum. Thank you. All right. Sorry, that was a little conversation between me and the racing gods. Or betting gods. Not quite sure who's in charge sometimes. All right. I will see you on the next video. I need to go, don't I? All right. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.